Hi everyone, so today I'm making some heart-shaped bath bombs, and I'm going to do 2 solid color batches and then combine them. So I have my baking soda already measured out into each bowl, and this is a little bit of distilled water, and let's see, a little bit 91% alcohol. So I'm going to put those in, and then I'm going to get them in the mixers and get them mixing. Now I'm going to add in the other dry ingredients. So I have some lakes here on the top. I have SLSa, I have tapioca starch, and some coconut milk powder. Okay, so the colors have blended in really nicely, and so now I'm going to add in the liquid portion. I have some apricot kernel oil, avocado oil, fragrance, a little alcohol, and some Polysorbate 80. The Polysorbate is going to help emulsify the bath water and help keep the colors emulsified so it doesn't leave a ring. Free colors aren't always the nicest thing in the bathtub. You usually need the Poly 80 just to get everybody just kind of like bound and hanging out together. Alright, I've measured out my citric acid, and now I'm going to add it slowly to each bowl as it's mixing. Okay, so I have my bath bomb machine here. It's the B3 Bomber from bathbombmachine.com. I love it. It's super safe. So I have this compressor attachment, and my husband has outfitted it with a dial so I can keep an eye on it here, but this is showing what the pressure is on the air compressor down in the garage. So he ran a big long tube here so that I don't have to listen to the compressor, which is really awesome because it runs quite a lot. So this is kind of loud. Well, that one wasn't too bad at all. Getting used to this today. So now my pressure is going to start coming up. So this is ready. I'm going to get all set up here and we'll start pressing. Okay, so it's taken me a couple of rows to get my groove on here. And so I have this heart mold. I have an insert piece with the cute design, and then just a basic heart and the tapper. So I ended up mixing up my mix like so, because I like the way it looks. It's easier to work with for me. So I need about a half a cup, and I like approximately 3.5 ounces. I put the top on and press. See, I didn't have my fingers on it right, so it didn't go. There we go. And then this piece just slides off, and it just pops out. And doesn't that just look so good? I love it. So I've been fiddling around just a little bit more than I'd like. So things are starting to dry out a little bit. That's the nature of working on a video. Well, sometimes it could be a little bit harder to work on the bath bombs. And my arm might get in the way of the camera just because I have to have both fingers on the doodads because that's the safety feature of it all. Oh, this is just working so nicely now. My mix could be a hint wetter, I think, but we'll just go with the flow. I'm on my last little bowl of mixture here, and it's been going pretty good. Had to repress some of them, that's just the way it goes, especially when the mixture is not exactly the right moisture level, but I find I can still work with it. And again, working on videos is a little bit more difficult when you're making bath bombs, especially if you don't have someone to help with the camera. So they're still coming out super cute. I love this tray full over here. I love how these colors turned out. Just so gorgeous. And I'll leave the recipe down below. I struggled so much with bath bombs. I just feel like that's my contribution. And this bath bomb machine was gifted to me. And so I figured that's the least I can do, is to help everybody get a good recipe going. Because I struggled for years and years and years, and it wasn't until I got this machine that I really put the effort into getting them right. And there's so many different ways to make bath bombs, but I love this one, and I've gotten such great reviews from it. And I had to formulate so that I could work on it in the humidity. Again, the humidity is quite low. In my room today, it's about 36 to 40. In the summer when I bake bath bombs, it's usually around 50 to 60. So I've had to, learn how to work with them in a more humid environment. And I have heard from others that have tried it and have tweaked it to their liking. These are so cute. And I can really get to moving when I'm not, yappity yapping. And I'll try to put in a tester, a demo, I guess, right here on the end of the video. I just love it when a plan comes together. So I have just a little bit left here. Let's see if we can squeeze one more bath bomb. It's getting pretty dry at this point. So I'm not going to gather all this up because it is super dry. This is going to be just a little bit of a smaller bath bomb. And there we have the last bath bomb. It is a Bramble Berry scented coconut milk foaming bath bomb. I'll add a demo on the end here, and otherwise, thanks for watching. I would love it if you subscribed if you're not already, and give it the thumbs up. Share with your friends if you feel like it. I hope you do, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. So I'm back to do the demo. I thought I'd show you how I package them. I just use little polypropylene bags and put a little label on the back. Now some of the things I have noticed. So the heart shape, because it's flatter, it does not spin as much, and as a result it's a little bit more of a foamy presentation. And so there's that to keep in mind. The coconut milk also seems to slow down the the traveling and stuff. So between the shape, the coconut milk, and also the SLSa, it's more of a foamy action. However, the bath is amazing. The water's amazing because it's going to eventually fizz out anyway. And finally, the SLSa can be activated, and so it has, you know, the foaming part, but it also has the bubbly part. So even once this is done foaming, you can use a little bit more agitation and more, you know, spraying of the water, and it'll fill a nice tub with bubbles. So it may be a bit lackluster in presentation, but it makes up for it in the awesome bath. So let's give this a try. So it is floating. I notice it does always flip over the first time, just right away. Ooh, this water is hot today. This one is actually a little bit more interesting than a tester I had already done, but it might have just needed a little bit more time to dry out. But as you can see, it's foaming quite a bit. It's not spinning, it's not traveling, and this is pretty much what it's going to do for its life cycle, because it doesn't really have a lot of spin action. And for the foamy part, you know, to really, the SLSa to activate, it really needs motion. And so that's just something to keep in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this little guy play out, and then I'll come back and show you the how we can create more bubbles, and how also the final watercolor is. Okay, so I think you're getting the general idea. This one is just a little bit more of a slow fizz for the reasons that we already talked about. So one thing you can do is get your water on, and first of all you can see that it's immediately starting to make bubbles. You can also just hold it under the stream of water. I think most people play with bath bombs, you know, kind of as they're dissolving, so I really don't think it's that big of a deal that it's a slow foam, because most people aren't just going to set it in and just let it sit there forever. At least I'm a bath bomb player, that is for sure. Ooh, that's getting hot, hot, hot. So you can see it's creating just some nice bubbles. This is a fairly soft and gentle stream here. These are smaller bath bombs. These are about the 3 to 3.5 ounces. So now if you, I guess it's kind of loud. So now if you add the stream, the shower portion, and move it around, you can see how the bubbles increase. So all that foam has the great potential just to make these lovely bubbles, and they're very milky and soft. The water is just a pretty lavender color. It's not too strong, nothing glittery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the same recipe in a sphere, and you can compare the difference. Okay, so now for this part of the demo, this is the same recipe. This is our figgy cream bath bomb, and this is the sphere, and it's about 5.5 ounces. So I find that these float and then sink for a little bit, and then they usually float towards the end. So you can see it has a little bit more action going on, as it just naturally can spin from its shape. So the bath bombs are always naturally drawn to the left side of the sink. They're always out of camera range when I try to do these demos. Just stay here, guy. So it's definitely much more active, and this is the exact same recipe. So you can see, as is, it's not a naturally bubbly bath with this recipe. It's just very thin, but all of this foam has so much potential for the bubbles. Pretty much it's just going to continue on like this, and some of the foam, you know, may gather up. But for the most part, it's just going to be like this until we introduce the agitation, whether by your hands or by the water stream. So you can see we have quite a bit of this bath bomb left, but we have a lot more bubble activity. So that's pretty much it. This one also makes just a pretty lavender water, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.